I'm recording.
Okay, so you want a horror story of something I did at work, right? Okay.
Whatever you want to say.
This is my horror story in the film industry. So, I go to Ukraine to interview the president who lied about the fact that he ordered this journalist to be killed. And so I call the secretary to get an interview with him, and she asked me what questions I want to ask him, and so I tell her, and then she says, but specifically what questions? And so I tell them about the murdered journalist, and she's like, oh, well, you know what, the president's not going to be here that week that you're in Ukraine. So anyway, I go there and I interview everybody else, all the murdered journalist's wife and friends and coworkers. And then one day during a really important interview, I lock myself out of the place I'm staying, and all the equipment's in there. So we're late, and we're trying to get on the roof to go through a window to get into the house, and I can't get in. So somebody hires a fire truck. So these fire trucks come into the city just so that I can unlock the door. And so luckily he didn't ask for a bribe. But anyway, so we get to the interview, and then so I present this documentary in New York in front of the dead journalist's widow and all these important people in New York. And it turns out the editing equipment I used wasn't compatible, so it was silent the whole time. So, so I presented this documentary.
It was like Charlie Chaplin.
And luckily I had, what do you call them? The subtitles during some of it. I'm like, oh, this is where he's saying blah, 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 blah.
So you're narrating this or watching?
I'm narrating.
Wait, so you didn't know before you got there that it wasn't compatible? You didn't, do a pre-test?
Oh, I did. That's why I had to add the subtitles. Well, I was just, I needed to buy a whole new version of Adobe Premiere.
But your response was, oh, well, I'll just do it. Just move on to the next step.
Okay.